Hello, everyone. Welcome to Moon Mage. This is weekly tarot messages. If you're new here, these are just quick messages. They're not super deep or in depth about the potential energies, challenges, along with some guidance and advice so you can navigate your week ahead, hopefully, in the best possible way. I always tell everybody, regardless of the dates these come with, when you land on them is when you were meant to hear those messages. So don't get too worried about the dates that they come with. A few things. I have a new meditation that just came out about building inner strength and confidence. It's like a 10-minute meditation, and a new tarot video that is connected to soul energy, gifts and talents from the past that we might need to bring forward into the now from past lives and things like that. So if you're interested, you can have a look at that as well. These kinds of energies are so prevalent right now because 2025 has really shaken things up and brought in new energies, new planetary alignments, big movements in the cosmos that are creating a lot of new beginnings, which connects to endings. So we're all going to need this energy of being in our power and feeling more confident and feeling more connected and ready to release and let go and bring forth the best things about ourselves, those hidden aspects of ourselves that the world and the universe is asking us to bring to the table. So this is the kind of energies I've been leaning into. And so those are what my tarot videos and meditations have been leaning in on if you're interested. Now, I tell everybody to give themselves a second to feel into messages 1 through 4, use your intuition, and I will get started with message number 1. Hello, message 1. Let's have a look and see what could be showing up for you guys this week. What does my beautiful message 1s need to know? I know I've been dealing with nothing but troubleshooting, things going sideways and wrong and having to pivot. This is a strong energy that's coming in for, I think, all of us in one way or another this week. Ooh, many talents. You have a lot of skills to discover and use for good. Don't sell yourself short. Ooh, okay, so it's really time to do a deep dive this week about those gifts and talents. What are they? How can you lean into them more? How can you utilize them for the benefit of not only yourself to bring in abundance and prosperity and joy for you, but for others as well? I definitely feel like this is something where you're of service to people in some kind of way. Don't sell yourself short. Yeah. You have a lot of skills to discover and use for good. Yeah. For the greater good, it feels like. But let's see what else comes out with that. All right. And I feel like, with it saying discover, I feel like there are things that you can do that you didn't even realize were going to be so easy for you. Like you pick it up and you do it. Like a good example would be, I didn't know I could draw. And then all of a sudden I'm drawing these things. This card looks like it wants to fly out. And they're really, really good. And other people are really liking them. But that's just an example. I think there's more to it than that. And that you guys have probably some dormant gifts from your childhood that you could be bringing back, but also new ones that you have yet to discover. And now is the time to start leaning into these things. Multifaceted is the word that comes from mine. And now my ear's ringing. 3 of Wands in reverse. I'll show you the card there actually before I put it up. 3 of Wands in reverse. 6 of Swords in the reverse. Wow, King of Wands in the reverse. You're definitely being called to step up into your power and creativity here. And 4 of Swords in reverse. Wow. Swords and Wands. So we've got fire and air. We've got passion, inspired energy, passionate energy, along with mental energy. 4 of Swords in reverse. Good card to see in reverse, really. Okay, let's talk about this message 1. With the main energy here being to discover and use your talents and gifts for good. And I feel like you are a multi-talented person. Whether you realize it or not, you have a lot that to offer people and that you're good at. I don't know that you're leaning into it entirely based on the cards that are showing up here. There's this energy up here with the 3 of Wands in reverse and Six of Swords in reverse, which is my challenge position, suggesting it's been really difficult for you to move on or move away from things that are just not serving you, not meant for you. They're not connected to your passion and purpose in the best possible way. It sort of feels like sitting on the sidelines or watching everybody else go about their life and doing things and embracing change while you're just sort of contemplating it, especially with that Three of Wands in reverse. You know, it's sort of like it's time to take action, no longer looking out and ruminating over, should I do this? Should I go there? Should I hit the waves with my surfboard as this girl is, right? Like she's just thinking about it. It's time to turn that around. This is the energy you want to embrace. It's just time to go for it and to lean into these things. And I do feel like for some of you, it's been very difficult to let go of things from the past, people, situations, maybe careers for some of you, like to really dip your toe into discomfort in a good way. And with that King of Wands, in reverse, this is like your advice card. This is like, spirit coming in to say, here's what we need to really fix. Needing some more strength within yourself. Self-belief comes to my mind, believing you can. And so you go for it and you do the thing, even though it might scare you a little bit, because you essentially embody the energy of the King of Wands, which is somebody who is very fiery and passionate and inspires others, as well as is somebody who holds a lot of inspiration within themselves, innovative, ingenious, multifaceted, extremely talented in many, many ways. And not only do they have these gifts and talents, but they're able to bring them out in the best possible way. But it's in reverse. And this is sort of like the advice from spirit saying it's time to address this and step back into this energy. You might even be a air or a fire sign, because that's all we've got showing up here is Wands and Swords. So it's time to embrace your power, your creativity, not put it off, not sit on the sidelines waiting for something to change or happen. I do get the sense that a lot of you are dealing with difficulty of disconnecting and letting go of particular things, ways of being, stepping out of your comfort zone. And it feels like for fear that. But again, I'm coming back to this. You have many talents. You have a lot to offer in a multitude of situations, it feels like. And it's time for you to lean into that and believe that and embrace it and start bringing these things out more. Like it just feels like you're in divine timing with this, right? And no better time to get started with these things, creating space to cultivate your talents and your skills. Now, with Four of Swords in the reverse, it's kind of coming out of hermit mode and where you might have been needing to step back for a little while, get rest, rejuvenation, feeling depleted. And with it being in reverse, it's sort of like that energy is moving on. It's moving away. It's kind of something to be letting go of now and embracing more the energy of cultivation, action in small methodical ways. You don't have to do this like in a crazy fast way. It's not like time is running out. I'm definitely not feeling that, but it is time to move out of indecision, fear, being kind of in the backdrop, in the shadows. And it's time to start stirring up that energy because you've got divine timing on your side for something really positive. But I will say, conversely, I'm just getting this weird vibe now. For some of you, with this being in reverse, it might be that it's time to step back so that you can really connect to your talents and your gifts and start to discover even more of them and how they can be utilized. And so this could be more metaphorical that for some of you, it's time to take a step back and create space to cultivate these things. I do feel like the message for more of you, though, it's time to come out of isolation, being in the backdrop, being in the shadows, being in indecision, watching life go by without really doing too much with it and trying to embody this King of Wands energy that you naturally are. Again, fire or air. I'm so curious. Let me know in the comments if any of you are fire or air signs or have strong placements in fire or air signs, because it definitely is feeling like that. Somebody who's very intelligent, very creative, very passionate. But you might be feeling quelled in that energy right now, like where it's just been sort of flatline and static and maybe within feeling a little bit dimmed and blah. It's sort of like it's time to shake this energy up because good things want to come to you by way of your own gifts and talents. All right. Oop. I was going to have a jumper, but nope. Okay, so we've got the number 1818. So ones and eights will be likely very important for you. So pay attention to your thoughts and what you're thinking about when these numbers show up for you. It says structures, spirit guides, progress, justice, structures, systems, processes, conditioning, and rules. I do feel like there's some conditioning you might need to break within yourself. It says you are on the right track. Someone from the other side has your back and encourages you to try your best. You will succeed. Observe your surroundings and communicate clearly. Be sure that everything will fall into place. Nice. Yeah, ones and eights. And eights are the number of karma. And everyone always thinks karma is bad, but it's not. It could be good karma coming back to you in new beginnings and abundance. There's an abundance on its way to you, so long as you're leaning into your gifts and your talents. Yeah, spirit guides too. I definitely feel like you might not realize how much you're being helped right now and championed by your spirit team, by the universe, by past on loved ones too, I feel like for some of you. Like they're really trying to point you in the right direction to keep going. As it says, you're right on track. Someone from the other side has your back and is encouraging you to try your best. So do not step back too far from the things that you really want or desire. Do not stay on the sidelines for too long. If you feel compelled, inspired, sparked up in some kind of way, follow that. Follow that energy. It will take you to good places. You've got good things coming. Building a sound structure under your feet, really good idea. And again, it doesn't have to be like a race car that you go from 0 to 100 just like that. It's methodical, it feels like, in a good way, not a boring way. All right, I'm going to leave that there. I hope all of you guys have the most amazing and beautiful week. Take care, guys. Hello, message 2. What do my beautiful message 2s need to know going into this week? What's coming up for my beautiful message 2s? Ooh, commitment. Accept a position that helps you build lasting security, long-term stability. Okay. And then there's rings on there. So this could be showing up for you in a couple of ways. And it's general. So you'll know which one makes the most sense for you. For some of you, you might be looking at making a long-term commitment in love. And there's a strong and powerful energy around this for you right now. So really giving yourself over to this committal type energy. But for others, it says long-term stability, right? Accept a position that helps you build lasting security. So if you're on the fence about accepting a new job of some kind, maybe there's not all aspects are appealing to you. At the end of the day, this feels like something that is ultimately a good thing for you. Like it could even be a stepping stone to something better, but a step in the right direction for now. Hopefully that makes sense what I just said. Yes, making a commitment this week, solidifying something, making decisions that ultimately bring you joy and happiness, or that act as a stepping stone to the next thing that comes as a result of that, or what you learn there, what you cultivate there. And for some, this is definitely going to be in love. Maybe you're really trying to weigh whether it's a good idea in a committed relationship to take it to the next level. Perhaps this is because there's been some issues or problems, and there's concerns around whether that's a good idea or not. But there is the energy of long-term stability here with this being a good thing. All right. What's really strange? I'm just going to say I'm starting to lean more into the things that I feel, and I don't know why I feel them, but it could be for somebody. I keep getting this energy of forbidden fruit, and I'm not sure why, which is kind of connected to devil energy, like temptation of some sort. Okay, we've got Queen of Swords in reverse. Eight of Cups in the challenge position. Nine of Pentacles in the reverse. It's funny, right? Because this is like a tree, and she's reaching for a pentacle, but that's like kind of a metaphor for reaching for that fruit. Okay. Ooh, Knight of Pentacles, walking away towards something better, where there's new financial prosperity and beginnings. This is definitely feeling more connected, a commitment to a new job or prospects around vocation, where you're going to have more financial growth, right? Nine of Pentacles, right? Money following the Knight of Pentacles. Okay, let's talk about this now. Message 2. With this commitment energy and saying it's basically a good idea to accept a position, it doesn't feel like you're having an easy time deciding around this. Like, it's just very complicated. It doesn't feel so black and white for you. Like, of course I would move in this direction. Worries, fears, anxiety, sitting on the fence with it, especially with, the Nine of Pentacles in the reverse, worry around career, finances, and money. Queen of Swords energy in the reverse, feeling indecisive, not self-assured, not worried that maybe you don't have all the information or you're not seeing the full picture of what this could bring. And then we have the Eight of Cups here, right? And upright in the challenge position, suggesting it's really hard for you to emotionally walk away from where you are now. I feel like this mental energy, this fear and worry may have something to do with what you have to leave behind and having to let go being a difficult thing for you. Also, there's almost this sense, this energy that you're wondering if this new thing, this new vocation, career, place, of work is going to bring about the financial stability that you desire. Like, perhaps it's not that much more than what you're making now, or it's not what you had hoped to be making, or even for some of you, maybe you're like, this is even a little bit less than what I'm making now, but I do like the prospects around this job. I do like the idea of it, what the work is, et cetera, et cetera. With that Knight of Pentacles coming in the outcome position and money is essentially just following him, if that's the case, I feel like there's a message here of not to worry. Even if financially this isn't as sound as you would want it to be, that the salary isn't what you would want it to be, you'd want it to be more, or if you'd be taking a little bit of a pay cut, but do like the sound of this new vocation career, I feel like don't worry about it, because the money will come, growth and expansion will come, but there's a lot of indecisiveness and emotional disharmony with having to walk away from where you are and what you've been and what it's all going to mean. It feels like mentally being really, really tied up between head and heart. And this is why you're having such a difficult time choosing and making a commitment. And maybe, and in turn, that's causing you to have a lot of what if energy, stopping you, pausing you from making a really good decision for yourself. But I will say here, you have free will. You can do whatever you want. Message 2. But the overall energy here is that this is a good idea, even if it doesn't look like it in all ways, with the understanding that this looks like it's definitely going to be difficult for you to emotionally walk away from the energy you've been in, the job that you've been doing. Maybe even for some of you, you've been at home and you're going to go back into the career field. And it's difficult. It's very difficult. It's going to mean a big change and showing up completely different. But this does feel good for you guys. It feels like yes energy. And again, if financially it feels like it's not as prosperous as you would have liked, I do feel like it turns into that. It becomes more financially prosperous. I can't talk again. Either way, decisive energy is needed by you, finding a balance between your head and your heart and just making a decision. But again, for those of you who've been feeling really concerned and worried and on the fence and really going into anxious thoughts and what ifs and having a difficult time emotionally disconnecting from where you've been, I feel like this was Spirit's way of trying to interrupt those thoughts and just give you the heads up. Like, it's sort of like, they're like, here you go. Here's the message. This is a good idea for you. There's long-term stability here. Don't get too worried if it's not as much money as you would have hoped. That's going to come. That'll follow. Zero, 5, 5, 0. Okay, so we've got change energy. 5s are connected to change, and 0 is God force energy. It's sort of like essentially vacuuming away the old and walking through to the new. The old being sucked out to bring in the new, which brings in that change energy. And the card says friendship, success, knowledge, friendship, impatience, freedom, and optimism. Wow, this goes so well. When chances present themselves, seize them and do something out of the ordinary. Whether in your professional or personal life, you will find success by welcoming creative impulses and having faith in your own abilities. Trust in chance and take risks on opportunities that could change your life for the better. Wow. Wow. I just had this realization that for some of you, this opportunity might not have presented itself. And this is just Spirit's way, the universe, of getting ahead of it and ahead of your worried, anxious thoughts, indecisiveness, so that you don't miss these opportunities. But this goes so well with accepting a position that helps you build long-term security. So I don't know that some of you have had this opportunity yet, but be aware and be open that it's coming. And it all feels like a yes. And there's this heads up that emotionally it might be hard for you to disconnect from where you've been, the people you've been in, what you've been doing up until this point. And I do get the sense that there's fear around the financial aspect of it, but I really feel like you need to not worry about that. Everything's happening for you in a really positive way, like success, knowledge, and friendship. So this could come to you, this information could come to you by way of a friend or a new friend. So just be really open this week. Message 2, because you've got really good things on the horizon. And for those of you who've already had this opportunity and are really stuck in indecisiveness and worry and anxiety, this is your yes from the universe. And I don't say that lightly, but it's definitely coming out that way. I hope all of you have the most amazing, beautiful week. Take care, guys. Hello, message 3. What do my beautiful message 3s need to know going into this week? What's showing up energetically for my beautiful message 3s? Okay, we've got a clock here, and it says resources. Make the most of what you have and use it wisely. Wealth grows over time. Nice. Wow. All the messages has been about prosperity and abundance in some kind of way, how to create it. Resources. Timing too. Timing seems like it's going to be important for my message 3 choosers. So making the most out of time as a resource as well, right? If you find that you have time here or there to be working on something, learning about something, I would say absolutely lean into that. Time is a precious commodity. I would say it's probably our most precious commodity as humans, because once it's gone, it's gone. And I do feel like time being seen as a resource by you to use wisely is a really good idea. And I just feel like I need to drive that message home for some of you. But I also think that you have more resources at your disposal than you realize. It's sort of like look again, and it will help you with growing your wealth in some kind of way. As it says, make the most of what you have and use it wisely. Wealth grows over time. So there's an energy of being patient too, right? With that clock there. It takes time to make an amazing thing become amazing. It takes learning and knowledge and learning to pivot and adapt to things as well. I feel like those are all energies to be leaned into, like, sort of taking a deep breath as you move through this and as you build. It's sort of like, enjoy the journey. It's not just the destination, though I feel like there's a sense of urgency about getting to that destination for some of my message 3s. Either way, resources, you have more than you realize, and using time as a precious commodity, as a resource to not take for granted, I think, here for some of my message 3s. That was some terrible, terrible shuffling. Let's I definitely feel like if some of you are feeling a little bit burnt out or frustrated because things aren't moving too quickly, I kind of feel like there's something that's going to be showing up over the next few months for some of you, but it's really important that you're toiling away at something or working on something before it gets to you. That's not going to be for everybody, but I definitely feel like that's a message for somebody, like to not give in, give up. Three of Wands. getting ready, set. This is sort of like ready, set, go energy, feeling fired up, inspired, passionate. I don't want to just sit on the sidelines wondering if I should go out and into the water and surf and do the thing that I really love. It's about, taking action. That's that timing energy too. It feels like it connects to that, right? Like going with your inspirations, not putting them off or dismissing them, or getting really allowing that spark to hit you, but then not do anything with it. There's something to that here for me. Knight of Wands in the challenge position, not really feeling this energy, right? More in the contemplative. Should I, shouldn't I? What do I do? I feel like there's some of that too, like indecisive energy. Overthinking perhaps for some of you, because you can't see the thing. You can't see what it is that you need to push your situation forward, to see it grow, because this is saying wealth grows over time. It will come, right? I feels like you're in the learning, cultivating, putting a structure under your feet kind of phase. But this has been a challenge for you to feel like you're embodying power, creativity, innovation, ingenuity, being able to make things happen. And I always say that the challenge card is usually the most prevalent, because it tells us what we need to really work on to make things happen. And it feels like this, embodying that energy, that fiery, passionate, inspired, innovative person, creative person, staying strong in your resolve, even when things get bumpy. And I do feel like that's a thing for some of you. Like it gets bumpy, it gets frustrating. 10 of Wands in reverse. Okay. Ooh, the Emperor. I like where we're going with this. Solid sound structures. Under that solid structure that I was talking about, building a solid structure under your feet, something to build upon. That's essentially what the Emperor is, right? Kind of laying the foundation brick by brick in a way, though, that is really good. And it creates a really beautiful foundation that you don't have to keep going back into fix. Like getting it right the first time. This is an energy I'm feeling. I want to get it right the first time, but I'm frustrated because I can't see the way through all of this. Sometimes creativity and inspiration and motivation being blocked or stalled, getting frustrated with the timing of things and not moving quickly enough, and not being able to see the resources that you have around you. Kind of a good reason to give yourself pause and really go into that mode of research, because research keeps coming to me as well. Like there is a way through, you just haven't connected to it yet. And I think that some of you don't see yourselves as creative as you should. There's a lot of fiery energy here. Fire energy is always connected to passion, inspiration, and creativity. You've got that fire energy showing up a lot. Now, 10 of Wands in reverse. So when we're up like this, we're exhausted, we're mentally drained, we're carrying a ton of burdens, and we want to walk away from them. But being that it's in the reverse, this is like your guidance and advice from Spirit, suggesting it is time to walk away from these burdens, these things that are weighing you down, the mental thoughts that are keeping you stuck, that I feel like fear for some of you too, that things aren't going to happen for you. It's going to take too long. Maybe it's taking so long because you're not supposed to do it. I don't feel like that's the case. Message 3, I think that your hard work is going to pay off, and wherever you're stuck and being able to see how to move or propel a situation forward, that information is forthcoming. It's connected to divine timing, using your time wisely, seeing the resources that you have. It feels like taking a step back. Don't walk away from something that you've been trying to build or work on just because you're in a bit of a blind spot right now, right? Stay in the Emperor energy, right? Because this is outcome energy where you're feeling empowered, you're feeling safe, you're feeling strong, you feel secure, you know you've got this, and that you're going to keep moving forward, building this thing brick by brick. Yeah, I feel like it's a bit of a heads up to say, don't give up in the most simple way with this message. We want to point you in the right direction to show you what resources you do have that you've not yet tapped into that will actually help propel you forward and so that you'll see more growth in whatever it is you're doing. I definitely get an entrepreneurial spirit here from message 3. Whatever it is that you're working on or building, and whatever frustration and stuckness that you're feeling right now, I feel like it's like this too shall pass. Use your time wisely. Take deep breaths when you're ready to walk away and give up on something or this thing. because you're not meant to, right? It's time to try to embody this fiery energy. This king of fire, the king of wands there. I wouldn't say fire. Because you've got fire, 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 and then you've got emperor energy. And you see that image up here of like the ram's head, which is Aries energy. I'd be very curious to know if some of you are like Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, because there's so much fire energy here. Okay, 23. So 2s and 3s being very important for you. Excuse me. And the word is judgment. And it says karma, warning, judgment, influence, power, cycles, changes, and rebirth. Karma will be paying you a visit. Release the need to control because you cannot force things, right? That's that, like, it's going to grow over time. Learn your lessons so that you don't repeat in the future. Make some space for new experiences. Okay. So this is kind of giving a better picture of what's really going on here. Maybe you're trying to force things. It's sort of like that energy of forcing a square peg into a round hole. I think that's how the saying goes. And this is sort of like step back because there's other ways through. Having tunnel vision is not going to serve you right now to move your situation forward. Use your time wisely. It's not running out. This is going to take time. It's that brick by brick energy and a solid foundation instead of trying to force. Go into flow as best as you can using your creativity and things like that, right? Because this is a bit of a heads up to be careful of what you're ready to walk away from, give up on. There's a better way to manage whatever this is that you're trying to build. I feel like there's insights, opportunistic energies, and resources that you've not tapped into that will make this even better and make the foundation under your feet more solid. Right? This is saying make some space for new experiences, right? So needing to really be open. And this is saying learn lessons from the past. So this could be also suggesting that maybe you had an issue with letting go of control before and it went sideways. And so there's fear there that if you do that again, it's going to happen again. I feel like that's absolutely not the case. It's sort of like lean into creativity, resourcefulness, using your time really well, but go with the flow as much as you can. And this is going to bring about the change and the growth that you want and desire. All right. I am going to leave that there. I hope that all of you have the most amazing and beautiful week. And I want to tell you guys to give yourself some space to breathe out because I feel like it's really necessary for you guys in order to move forward in a really balanced, healthy way. All right, guys, take care. Hello, message 4. What did my beautiful message 4s need to know? What's showing up for message 4 this week? Oh my gosh, it's the same card as message 3 and it says resources. Make the most of what you have and use it wisely. Wealth grows over time. So divine timing coming into play, being very resourceful, making sure that you're utilizing your time to the best of your ability. And it's sort of like a step back so that you can see the resources that you haven't noticed before, gaining more knowledge, doing a little research, gaining more wisdom to make whatever the situation is for you go in the right direction where you're going to see prosperity of some sort. Yeah. Same card as before. I don't know why, but I'm feeling like I need to look at the bottom card. Soul harmony. Find work that resonates with your true purpose. Mission to fulfill. Ooh, okay. Make the most of what you have with wealth grows over time. I'm wondering if some of you are trying to step outside of the box of your comfort zone and do something that's more aligned with your passions, right? With this soul harmony energy here, find work that resonates with your true purpose, mission to fulfill. It's like you have a higher calling and maybe some of you are not seeing how you can possibly lean into it where there will be prosperity and financial security and abundance. And I feel like I was compelled to look at this card because it's sort of like saying that's absolutely not true. There is a way through where your soul is more in harmony and more aligned because you are in living out your passion, your purpose, what it is you really want. But being resourceful with this, being open to different perspectives and way of connecting to this. It says, find work that resonates with your true purpose. Yeah. And I think maybe some of you are saying, like, I don't even know where to begin or how I can make that happen. But there are resources around you that you can look at and tap into that you have not quite seen or tapped into yet. It feels like here for my message fours. Yeah. Wealth grows over time. You know, it's almost sort of like for some of you, you might be like, I don't know where I could find the time to do this thing I really love. I don't know how I could pay my bills. You know, I have to pay my bills. Of course, we all do. It could be like looking at potential side hustles that don't take up all of your time, but provide you with this beautiful energy where your soul feels more connected to what you're doing. And it feels like as you pull on that thread or move in that direction, it expands and expands to where it's like, I can leave my day job now and do this thing that I'm really passionate about that is connected to my mission, this mission that I have to fulfill. And I think for some of you too, there's like this energy of money, like you might need money to learn more or to grow a skill or something along those lines. And I feel like there's a way to connect to that too, that you haven't seen yet, that's coming your way with that resources energy. Okay, 2 of Cups in reverse. The Hermit in reverse. Ten of Wands upright. Oh, and the Chariot in reverse. Okay. All right. Okay, message 4. I think that you're feeling like you're lacking connection in a very big way. And maybe even for some of you, there's been a connection that hurt you in some sort of way that has really caused you to ebb back and maybe not be working on passion and purpose anymore. And you're not feeling harmonious within. So that's a bit of a message for some of you to work on that energy. It might need to be healed out. But I really feel like for more of you, it's that there's a disconnect with emotional connection, fulfilling connections that would help you to move towards this mission that you have to be in harmony with your soul's calling. I think that there's an opportunity for new people to come in that could act as a resource for some of you. They're like helping you along, but I think that you're maybe currently missing those kinds of connections right now. And it's been really a big block for you and a frustration. With the Hermit in reverse, in the challenge position, it feels like there's a necessity for you to step back right now so that you can see what these resources are, so that you can make decisions from a heart space, from soul level, instead of just sort of following societal norms and things, so that you can connect to this wisdom, this guidance, this information. It almost feels like Spirit wants to bring you some information and show you where good connections would be to help you move along in your soul's path. But it does require being a bit of a hermit to go within, to do the meditations that help you connect to this, to journal, to look what else is out there, those resources that you've not tapped into, to give yourself over to time, space, and research and gaining more knowledge around this. So if it feels to you like you just can't take any time for yourself, or you haven't, I feel like that's the biggest message here. It's time to, because there's knowledge that wants to come its way. It's what knowledge, wisdom wants to find its way to you. Message 4. And it can't get to you if you're distracted or you're busy. Right? And this 10 of Wands, it's like walking away from burdens, letting go of burdens, letting go of things that are heavy that you've been holding. It's sort of like carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders and carrying a lot of burdens that aren't even yours to carry. Walking away from something that does not invoke passion and inspiration, that is not aligned with your soul's desires and your soul's urges and callings, that are begging you to get more in harmony with who you really are and what you're here to do. This is in the advice position too. Like, it's time to walk away from that. For some reason, I feel like for some of you, there's this energy of, I don't want to disappoint the people that I'm currently working with or who depend on me for certain things. And I'm afraid to walk away from that, you know, carrying their burdens, their troubles, feeling like they need you, and they probably do. But it's time to disconnect from that. It's okay to make yourself a priority here, because you've got this mission to fulfill, right? You need to be doing something that is really more aligned with who you truly are, what you're passionate about, what you bring and what you offer to the world. I get a very spiritual energy here for some of you. I think some of you are meant to do more spiritually aligned work. Of course, this is general. That's not going to resonate with all of you, and that's okay. But I definitely think that there's been this delay in the work that you're meant to do here. And I do think it's because you're carrying the weight and burdens, like people depending on you to show up for them and help them with their vision. But it's time to make your vision a priority and tap into these resources. And wealth will grow. You will be able to take care of yourself with this, but step back to connect to wisdom. I really feel like my message for us have the ability to tap into higher wisdom, like God source energy, divine intelligence. Now with the Chariot in reverse, as an outcome card, it's suggesting this is not going to be a quick fix, a fast thing, a hasty decisions. It's not the way you want to go. Things will move a little bit slowly as you build and learn and gain more knowledge and make really good decisions for yourself to start moving towards your passion, your purpose, and to be patient with that, right? Because it says wealth grows over time. And right now you're in the energy of tapping into the resources that you have, the wisdom you need, the knowledge you need, letting go of the expectations of others and not carrying this as as your burden, right? Anymore. I'm really pulled to this card. I feel like not wanting to disappoint people, not wanting to let people down. But I really just feel like it isn't about that anymore. You're coming into an energy that's all about you, and you have this mission to fulfill. And, spirit, the universe wants to line everything up for you. But first you must create space for this and walk away from these things and these energies. They're just not serving you anymore, that don't fulfill you. I know I'm banging on and saying the same thing over and over again. I'm sure you understand what I mean. Okay. There's something about soul draining. I think that for some of you, where you are is just very soul draining, and it leaves you feeling depleted. Again, that Two of Cups energy, not feeling that emotional connection. I do get the sense that it's like the universe wants to bring you that as a resource and just a lifelong friend, kindred spirit, maybe a romantic partner for some of you. Wow, 444, and it says affection, and we've got that Two of Cups in the reverse. Overcoming obstacles, soulmates, romance, affection, support, and comfort. Your level of self-control is sufficient to make things right. On the horizon is the possibility of beginning a new romantic or platonic friendship, as well as a chance to begin life anew. Wow. With a person from one's past, everything will fall into place. Wow, that goes so well, right? What you've been missing emotionally, romantically, by way of positive connections or romantic partners, this is what wants to be brought to you. And I don't think it's just a simple thing that is going to be like, oh, well, now I'm emotionally happy because I have this great romantic partner or this beautiful new friend. It's connected to even more to your soul mission in some way. This person is really going to lift you, support you, be a catalyst for change for you, where you're walking away from expectations of others and really leaning into your passion, your purpose, your soul mission. So 444, pay attention to those numbers. They're going to be speaking to you in a very big way over the coming weeks. I feel like it's not going to be just this week, but this week is what's kicking this energy off. Yeah. A chance to begin life anew with a person from one's past. So something to keep in mind too, somebody coming back around in some kind of way for some of you. But if it's not a person from your past, don't worry, message for it. If it is a new person, just trust that that's what's meant for you, that you were meant to meet a new person. And for others, it might be somebody who comes back around. It doesn't have to be so black and white with the tarot cards. All right, I'm going to leave that there. I hope all of you have a beautiful week and recognize that you've got some really good things coming your way that's going to take time. And it's connected to so many things that are really good, like emotional connection, as well as being aligned with your soul's mission, your purpose, your passion, all good things. All right. I'm really gonna stop talking now. And I hope you guys all have a great week. Take care.